We're talking to Paul Everett from the marketing practice, and you want to talk about B2B marketing, online marketing trends, right? What's the biggest trend that you see right now?
So I think the biggest trend is probably people finally figuring out what happened to content marketing. And how.
What happened to content marketing?
Well, you know how 2 years ago it was the answer to everything, and I think a lot of people went straight into it. Some did good content, some did bad, but people were saying it would kill off advertising.
And it doesn't?
No, certainly not. Now content needs advertising, which is quite funny if you like. There's so much content, you now need to advertise your content, not your company anymore. Yeah.
But that's maybe because the organic Facebook content is not there anymore.
Yep, and those sites are becoming very good at encouraging you to pay to advertise your content, whereas 2 or 3 years ago they would have wanted you just to go and put good content on the site, I think.
So what would you say? Stop content marketing?
I'd love to. I think there's a shift. Some clients, so I think O2 Telefonica in the UK are really advanced at this, are moving away from the old kind of content to creating experiences for people to engage with. So if you actually do something rather than just create another white paper or a demo video, that's probably the future of content, I think.
That's what we used to call brand activation.
Exactly. So yeah, new names for everything.
Right.
But I think these experiences, there's a great example. In the UK, they closed their head office for a day, sent 3,000 people to work from home to prove how O2 can help you with flexible working as a business. So you create a great story that everyone can engage with. And is it content, is it PR, is it brand activation? It's just what you need to do, I think, to get people interested.
Right. Other trends?
So I wrote something 2 years ago about 7 trends in B2B marketing, and I'm going to give an update on some of the ones I was right about and some of the ones that I was very badly wrong about.
What were you wrong about? That's funny.
Well, I looked even further back and found some in 2007 where I was saying that YouTube would never work for B2B marketing because no one wanted to watch video. It was too slow. You wanted to have podcasts that you could take with you. And I said...
That's where technology caught you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I missed that one. And the other bad one, I think, the really bad one was Facebook, where I said this is really exciting in 2007, but it's probably not going to be ready for B2B marketing for at least another 5 years. I was recommending people spend more time looking at Second Life. Do you remember Second Life?
I spent some dollars there, yeah.
Yeah. So those were 2 that I was really bad on. But
and what was the best trend that you predicted?
So I think probably in B2B the best one was account-based marketing. So we started talking about this probably about 7 years ago, and now it's really coming and it's a buzzword. One of the guys in my office wrote the Wikipedia page for it, and now every time someone defines account-based marketing, they use his definition, which is fantastic.
What is it?
So it's treating your largest customers as though they were an individual market. So instead of marketing to a sector or to a size of company or by your proposition, you take a company that might be giving you 100 million euros each year as a large customer, and you market just to them. You have a marketing manager just targeting them and programs dedicated to them.
Right, so for instance, target all the employees of that company with social media, blogs, whatever, content dedicated to that company, stuff like that? Yep,
and there's some new techniques so where you can target advertising based on IP addresses. So if I know that you work for my large customer and you're browsing the web and looking at some news sites, I can put adverts to you, naming your organisation, being that targeted. So that's where technology is coming together with trends that have been around for a little while and changing things, I think.
That's very specific for companies, B2B companies with large customers with large amounts of employees, right?
There's a bit of a mix because actually you might not want to market to all of the employees at a 20,000 person company, but if you're selling mobile phones to a business and you're targeting a company with 100 people, maybe you do want all of those 100 people to feel good about your mobile phones. Right. So who knew 2 years ago that Microsoft had a good mobile phone operating system, and then they bought Nokia, and we want everyone in the small business market in the right type of industry to hear about that. But if you know the organisation names and you can target just them and have 50 people in the company all talking about how great these phones could be when they replace BlackBerry, that's a good story, I think.
Right. And what's the newest trend that you added?
So I think probably the newest trend on my list is social selling, and not just for the sales teams anymore, but we see this being used in call centres now. Particularly, people aren't just using the telephone, but they're using some of the LinkedIn products, and they're having training, and part of their targets, it's no longer have you made 100 calls in the day, it's have you touched 100 people on LinkedIn, or have you sent 30 emails. It's these type of metrics that are coming through.
Right. That's not really sales, right?
Well, selling, I think, for some companies is moving more online rather than face-to-face. It depends on your company and product.
Right, but a touch point is not yet a sale.
No, but it could be the first. So if you imagine a really intense month where I'm stalking you online and trying to get in front of you, I might look you up on LinkedIn. So the next time you go on LinkedIn, you see, Paul Everett's been looking at me. I wonder what that's about. And then the next week I might send an email, and the week after I might send an in-mail and a request to connect, and the week after that I might happen to meet you at an event somewhere. So it's all part of the sales process, I think.
What's your last tip for online marketeers?
The last tip for online marketeers is stick with it. Don't change your plans just because you start a new financial year. I think too many people get caught up in, it's a new year, it's a new budget, what's the new thing we're going to do? And they forget to see through the thing that they started last year and to see whether it actually worked or not.
Great, thanks.
No problem.